So you want to record yourself for your online course, but you're not sure where to start. Like, what kind of equipment do you need? Do you need to learn how to edit? And what would all of this cost to create your own online course? Well, let me tell you this, it is not hard to record your online course. You just need the right method to record yourself. You need to invest in a little bit of equipment, or you can even use the equipment what you already have. And as a matter of fact, the equipment that I'm using right now isn't even expensive. More on that later. Now, these are some of the most common methods we see when people start recording their course. The first one being is talking into the camera. And this is kind of like what we are doing right now. By this, I mean you set up a camera on a tripod, you just talk to it and you portray literally what you have to say through the camera. Now, the second method is the presentation method. And with this, you can literally create like a slideshow. And with this slideshow, you have some bullet points, you present something, and this way you bring over your knowledge to your student. And the last method is screen recording. This is for people who are camera shy, but also have like a course that is about showing something on the screen. This can be something like a Photoshop course, something like how to design a website. Those kind of courses, we see people screen record their screen and then just do a voiceover on top of it. So what kind of equipment do you need to start recording yourself? Well, this doesn't have to be complicated. There are three main aspects to this. The first one being is the camera. And this, of course, can be the camera that you already have. You don't need to invest into an expensive camera to start recording your course, unless you have the budget, of course. So by the camera, you can use anything from like your webcam, you can use a DSLR, you can use your own phone. Actually, the video that you're watching right now has been recorded through my iPhone. And that is all because of tool number 2, and that is the lighting. Now, the lighting is an important aspect and it is oftentimes overlooked because people don't pay attention to this. But the lighting can also be a bit tricky to set up. So I would suggest, if you have no experience into lighting at all, to sit by the window and use the natural daylight to properly light yourself. Or you can also use a big softbox like I'm doing. And then you can also use your iPhone. But I would suggest using an app that is called Blackmagic, where you can set everything from like your aperture to your lighting conditions and everything in the app. But this is for the bit more experienced user that has experience with recording. Now, the last thing that you need to record yourself is some good audio. And by this, I mean a good microphone. Now, the microphone that I'm using right now isn't even expensive. It's like $50 at most. Now, you can record your audio even through like your phone, because your phone actually has a decent mic in there. But you can also use it through your laptop if you have a somewhat decent mic. But otherwise, I would suggest buying like a USB mic or buying anything from like a DJI or those Rode mics. Those are the little ones that you can use for that. Essentially, with the audio, you just want to sound somewhat decent. The most annoying thing that people come across is having bad audio. If your visual is bad, people can see through that. And I would actually suggest like investing more into your audio than into your camera, because people listen to you, and that's the most important aspect, that they can or will be able to listen to you and don't have annoying like noises on their ears. So what kind of software do you need to start recording yourself? Well, first of all, I would suggest using a screen recorder. And that is for if you are showing stuff on the screen or if you have a slideshow, for example. Let me show you one very simple screen recorder that I use all the time to quickly record myself, but this can be also used to record your own online course. So the screen recorder that I'm using is called Loom, and I've downloaded Loom on my MacBook. And what this does is I can select the camera that I have. So right now I've selected the camera, and then you can see it puts me on the screen on the bottom left right there. I can even make myself bigger. And now I can start recording myself while I record my screen and my webcam. And what is also great about Loom is that you can even record through your iPhone camera. So this makes sure that you have the highest quality camera available. Now with Loom, you can of course drag yourself around. So you can just position yourself in the bottom right corner, for example. And then I can start recording my presentation about a topic. But also, if I were to do like a screen record, which I do all the time, then I would just use it to record my screen, and then I show the stuff that I need to show to my students. The great thing about this is a very cheap option to record yourself. It costs like $10 per month, but you can also use the free trial during your recording stage, and then after that you can get rid of it to record basically for free. An alternative option to this is using OBS Screen Record, and this is OBS Screen Record. It's a bit more complicated, but this lets you record your screen. You can even import like your camera footage to record it all at the same time, but that's like for another video because that's a bit more complicated. Now, what you also need to have besides recording software is editing software. And that is because while you are recording yourself, you probably make a lot of mistakes. Like even when I'm recording this video right now, I also tend to make a lot of mistakes. And what is great about it is that you can cut those mistakes out during the editing process. So if you don't have any editing experience at all and you also don't have a big budget, then I would actually suggest to use a tool that is called CapCut. This is a free editing tool and it lets you edit amazing videos literally for free. Now you can import your entire course through CapCut, then you can cut it up into pieces, take out the mistakes that you have made, and you can export the finished product. Another tool that is pretty good to use, we use it all the time, is Adobe Premiere. Now this tool isn't free, it is actually quite expensive, and it also requires some type of experience to use this. So if you don't have any experience, just go for CapCut. Or what you can also do is use the Loom editor. Within Loom, you can also edit your videos to make it even better. Then you can download that and then you can import that in your favorite course platform. Now, if you're still looking for a good course platform to host your course, then I would highly suggest to check out FreshLearn. FreshLearn is one of the best course hosting platforms. It can do so much more than just hosting your course. So if you're interested into that, then check it out. I will leave a link to it in the description down below. So now that we've covered like how you can record yourself, how you can edit it yourself, now let me give you a few tips on how to record yourself. The first one being is keep it simple. Don't put too much effort into recording yourself. It's all about the knowledge that you share. That's the reason why people watch your course. They're not interested in how good your lighting condition is or how good your camera is. Of course, it is an added bonus and it will feel more premium if you have a good setup. But if you don't have the funds, then don't stress over this. Just keep it simple. Now, another thing that I would suggest is to find different ways to convey your message. Now, this can be anything from like a visual to explain what you're saying, to a screen recording, to another video, to even having like something like a document in there to get some extra points across so people understand what you mean. Now, the last tip that I want to give you is to use a teleprompter for recording yourself. And I use this personally all the time. I use it to convey some bullet points of what I'm trying to say, or I'm using it to write out entire sentences of what I want to say. So use this to your advantage, and if you have any questions about recording yourself for your online course, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.